Hi, Emily Taylor here with Collage Quilter. I've got my little mic. Hopefully this works so that you can hear me well. This is the third week of the Alphabet Quilt series, and I want to just share with you what I've been working on. And so let's get away. Behind me, you will immediately see I have changed the bug block, the bee block. So we weren't really happy with the kind of teal and really dark green corners. So we changed that. And I think we both agree it looks better. I like the blue in there. So that was one thing we changed. Then we also have added the letters to each of the blocks. I think that we hadn't done that last week, right, Amelia? So we've added all of the letters to the blocks. And let's see, we made a decision on the background fabric for the frog and the owl, right? So speaking of the owl, we now have an owl download available on the website, collagequilter.com. It's a downloadable pattern. It's on sale while we're doing this little ABC project. So check that out. So we have also the owl and the pumpkin because it's October. And let's see, what else did we accomplish this week, Amelia? We decided, okay, so yep, I did two new collages. So I've done the hedgehog H and the goldfish. One of them is my favorite and the other one is my least favorite on the quilt. Can you guess which one? Well, I'll just tell you. The hedgehog is giving me trouble, and I'm not really sure if it's because the H fabric that I've chosen, the red fabric, has some dots in it, and it's a little bit busy competing with the back of the hedgehog. So I may redo that block, but I need to keep moving forward and kind of figure out what I want to do for the hedgehog to make it better. Or maybe I'll give it some time and it will settle with me. We'll see. But so far, my very favorite block that I think I've done is the goldfish. And let me just tell you a couple things that I love about it. Well, number one, I love the fish. I think I did a good job on that. I feel really good about that. But I love the fabric choices. I love the plaid in the corner. I love the color that we've chosen. I really, really love the background fabric because it is sea creature. It has sea creatures in it and shells and starfish and whatnot. So it suggests water and marine life. And the color obviously kind of looks like water. And then I love the G, the way it frames the goldfish because it suggests a fishbowl where you might find a goldfish. So I really love this block. I'll talk to you a little bit more about what my thoughts are with these other blocks. So I love the frog block, but I'm a little like, I love it up close, but from a distance, I think the F gets lost a little bit. But I don't dislike it, so I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to leave it. And I just think he's super charming with his little crown on his head. So that might be my second favorite block. I am curious about what is your favorite block so far. So please let me know in the comments. I don't want to know what your least favorite block is. I only want to know what your favorite block is so far. So now coming up, I'm going to do a demonstration that we recorded earlier about making the eyeball for the goldfish. So this technique that I'm going to teach you applies to any of the animals that have eyes. So the hedgehog or the duck, the goldfish, the owl. So stay tuned to watch that next little segment. And I hope that you will subscribe to this channel to see further progress each week on my alphabet quilt. We are halfway done now. I've got 13 blocks finished and I have 13 to go. So I'm going to go get back to work. Join me again next week. Thanks for being here. All right, so I'm just about finished with this cute little, what is it? A goldfish. I'm going to show you how to do an eye for this. So let me maybe lift some of this up so you can kind of see really the eyeball is two circles. So it's got the lighter circle, and then this represents the, I think that's the pupil. So this is the iris and this is the pupil. So I'm going to trace this. Now I can also trace it. I recommend tracing it with the gray tone guide. And it does not have to be perfect. So it's just approximately that size, okay? Just get the size right. And then I can see it there, and that's what I'm going to cut out. Now, I should also say, a lot of times having a little bit of a dark outline around the eye will help it to show up. So I've already taken some red fabric, and you can kind of see how it's just slightly larger than the red fabric is slightly larger than this light yellow fabric that I've drawn the iris on. Not the iris. Yeah, the iris is the white part. I don't know. I don't know what kind of eyeball. I don't know what kind of an eyeball fish have. But I'm going to cut some of this red fabric. And really, I just kind of eyeballed the, so it will be maybe about that size, and that might be even a little bit big. So let's cut that down just a little bit. So if I put that there, that will ensure that this light part here shows up really well. And you can build your eyeball separately. You don't have to do this all right directly on your fish. Give it a couple tries. Most eyeballs that I do are about the same. So constructed the same. They're kind of some layering. I think I want this to be just a little bit smaller so that there's a little more of an outline. So let's just pull that in, trim it just a little bit closer. Gosh, I need my glasses. Amelia, we grab my... I think they're over there. I don't know where they are. I need my reading glasses. Okay. So yeah, I think that's a really good size like that. Thanks, love. Okay. Now I'm going to take this off, stick it here. Oh, one more thing. Will you get my ink tints? And then it looks really weird until we have an eye, the little pupil. Now I have a couple different fabrics, so obviously I could do it in black, but I also thought, oh, that little circle right there might be great because it would give a highlight, and then I wouldn't have to cut a highlight out. So let's see here if this is gonna work. Let's just trim off some of the white around it. Yeah, I think that will work. Don't you think, Amelia? Yeah. Then if you don't have a fabric that has a natural highlight, don't worry about it. You don't necessarily need to do a highlight on the fisheye because the little highlight gets small and sometimes it's just too hard to worry about.
What do you think? What do you think, Ladybug?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to show you one other little trick. So I'm going to take my iron and I'm going to press this. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shade the top part of the eye. So just adding a little touch of color. This happens to be baked earth, so it's like a, what is this? Raw umber, sienna? I don't know, something like that. It's just kind of a warm, really warm brown. But you can kind of see that just that little teeny bit of color and slight value change kind of makes the eyeball look like it's a little more rounded. So it looks looks like an eyeball hanging out there on my picture on my little canvas. Now I've got my little paintbrush. Can just make that bleed into that circle a little bit. Then let's take it again and see what we think. There's the eyeball for the goldfish. What do you think, Amelia?
That's great.
Okay, there you go. There's how to do an eyeball. All right, actually, I decided to maybe enlarge, I decided to enlarge the eye a little bit. So now I'm gonna press all of them. I've already done the ink tints, and this one I did with just plain black and put a highlight on there. So let's see what we think. So there it is with a little bit bigger eye, and I actually like that size better. So let's take that smaller eye and replace it with this eye, and then this eye can be part of my part of my collection of eyeballs. Ta-da! Okay, so there you have it. There's a little eye tutorial.